David, LLUK, it's our SSC, for goodness sake. And thank you for mentioning, as I knew you would, obviously the need and all the actions you're taking, not only to work with us on the influence agenda, but also to be developing the skills, the professionals and the expertise of the workforce that we employ. And that is a very big ongoing responsibility you have on our behalf. Any questions, though, detailed or broader? Yes, please. Again, if there's a microphone, if you could ask you just to identify yourself, just your name and your organisation, so we can position you. Grateful for the question or indeed comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert Litt from Capital Education Services. David, you made comments of the importance of the staff individualised record and how that would provide evidence for things such as the assessor shortage. You also made reference to the Four Nations remit of Lifelong Learning UK, something that we welcome that broad coverage there. I wonder if you could comment on the communication that was sent out on the 3rd of June to all learning providers in Scotland from the Scottish Funding Council regarding a new return called the Individualised Staff Return, which, as I understand, most institutions were very surprised that this hadn't come directly from Lifelong Learning UK, with, as you say, their Four Nations remit there.
Well, it's a funny old world, you know, and sometimes government does things without perhaps not necessarily reflecting right across other ways of doing it. I know colleagues in Scotland are under tremendous difficulty, I mean work-based learning colleagues at the moment, because of the modern the apprenticeship situation and the way that government has determined that they will only fund certain areas. In fact, I spoke at the Scottish Training Federation conference some weeks ago on this. Frankly, you know, relations are different with government in each country of the UK, and we're coming from a different position in each country. What I'm really pleased about is that whereas sector skills councils in Scotland were initially not very well accepted because they were seen as an English solution to an English problem, there's now greater acceptance, and Fiona Hislop at the Scottish Training Federation conference, when she was put under considerable pressure by those there who are actually losing a lot of money in this context, said 6 times that sector skills councils will now be used to help to find an alternative to that particular model. Now, as far as the data you were talking about, I can't answer that particular question because I don't know enough. My Scottish director does know enough, and perhaps we can link you up with her. But it's a fast-changing situation up there as well. And what I'm pleased about is last Friday I met with Scottish Government representatives, as well as those government representatives from Northern Ireland and Wales, with the Alliance of Sector Skills Councils, which just how much they are keen to work with us across the UK. I think that's critical. And I think what also is critical is the new Alliance of Sector Skills Councils and the difference it is making to get a voice that is coherent and is prepared to work with those that will work with it. And there's a very different relationship than under the SSDA context. And I'm starting another speech, I'll just shut up.
It's interesting, David, if I could just, again, as ever, interject. We haven't got time to go into it, it's probably not right here, but for those of you who work solely in England, you know, we obviously look quite rightly at our problems. But there are those in the audience who do indeed work, I know. Some of our larger providers who work in Scotland and Wales. Not so many in Northern Ireland, that's another issue, but Scotland and Wales. And one has to say that whilst we've always got our problems and we have them here to tackle, some of the very real, really frontline core funding issues which Scottish and Welsh providers have to cope with now because of the local government policies are quite staggering, and some of you sadly will be experiencing that because of your cross-border activity. But as you say, in Scotland the government basically determining which sectors they carry on supporting, and they won't bother with others. That's an interesting picture which we hope will not percolate south of the border. That's some very rare issues. Anyway.